Hey guys, so today on Drew's Shed we're going to show you how to turn your rust from this to this. G'day and welcome to the Drew's Shed YouTube channel. I'm your classic backyard mechanic who loves all things four-wheel driving and muscle cars. Here you will see myself building, repairing, upgrading and maintaining our vehicles, as well as others. Follow along as I show you what being an Aussie backyard mechanic is all about. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Drew's Shed. So today I'm actually heading over to my dad's shed, where I grew up as a kid. I've got a good mate of mine who's got a van with a little bit of rust, so we're going to check that out for him. He's just looking to sort of, tart it up, fix it up, make it look pretty again, and get it back out on the road without looking ugly. Rust obviously is something that can get pretty bad if left unchecked. So we're just going to have a good look at it, clean it up, see what we can see, and then go from there. So follow along and come and check it out. Hey guys, just before we kick the video off, I just want to start by saying that this is by no means a professional job. I did advise the owner of the vehicle, who's my good mate, to go and seek professional advice on it. He did take it to a shop and he was quoted, quite a few $1,000s to get the job done, which involved taking the windscreen out, vehicle off the road, and a lot of money. This is just a sort of getaway for him and his family. He's not looking to sort of, pour thousands and thousands of dollars into the vehicle. He just wants to get away with the family in it, and the sooner the better. This is just a bit of a quick fix, and we're dealing with the rust rather than just leaving it as is. By doing a small repair like this, at least the rust isn't going to get any worse. It's going to sort of stop it spreading. But like I said, it's not a professional job. So this is it, Mercedes van. I'll show you what he's sent me. So we're looking at this rust spot on this right driver's side. And then this bigger rust spot, which actually got two spots, one up here, one down here. So ideally, we want to try and sort of fix this up. He wants to get back on the road for another trip, so we'll try and fix it up with as minimal work as possible, make it look pretty again. He just doesn't like the look of the rust, so we'll give it a good clean up and go from there. So this is my old man's shed where I grew up. Most kids don't have the luxury of having something like this. It's sort of every junior mechanic's wet dream, really. So we've got a hoist, band saws, cranes, overhead block and tackles for pulling engines out, mezzanine levels, which are full of engines. The bloke doesn't keep it in the best condition, but it is just a backyard shed for tinkering around, nothing professional. So I've been working on cars with my brother and my dad pretty much most of my life. Plenty of engine swaps, gearbox swaps, conversions, you name it, we've pretty much done it in here. So I spent a lot of my junior years out here building, tinkering, cutting up stuff, making things, all the sort of crazy stuff you do as a kid, swords, you name it, I've pretty much built it out here. So I was very, very fortunate to have a dad that has all this sort of gear and the knowledge to pass down to me, which I'm looking to pass down onto my son. It's very good to sort of know what to do, how to fix things, how to create things. So this is where it's done. So welcome to my old man's shed, and we'll get on with the episode. So another really important thing to have when you're doing jobs like these, anytime you're dealing with chemicals, paints, dust, debris, all that sort of stuff, it's going to be a good mask. I don't do any of these sorts of jobs without having a mask. Your lungs are important. It's important to take care of them. And also your eyes with safety glasses. So don't forget your PPE equipment. So first thing I'm going to do is take apart the rubber seal that surrounds the windshield. This doesn't hold the windshield in, it's just an external seal to stop any water getting in behind the windshield, which obviously hasn't been very successful being that it started to rust. So I'm just going to use a couple of tools, wire hand brush and a wire wheel on a drill. So we'll give it a good clean back, see what we can find. So what I've found, you can see there all the decay from the rust, a couple of small holes. It does go back into the water channel behind the windshield and the rubber seal. So it looks like someone has repaired this previously. I can see like a skim layer of bog there. I've basically just tried to get the wire wheel to clean back the rust to the point where you can see a nice shiny bare sheet metal section. So that's as far as the rust has eaten into there on the outside. So yeah, we'll see if we can clean this back a little bit more, treat the rust. You have to leave some rust for the chemical to treat it, and then we'll go from there. So after cleaning it all back and getting a really good look at how bad the rust was, which it wasn't too bad, we decided just to do the quick fix and bog it, sand it, prime it, paint it. So we went out for a quick drive to our local Repco and Bunnings and picked up some supplies, which we'll go through. Yeah, the rust wasn't behind the windshield, which is good, so we're just going to give it a quick little fix. So from Repco, we popped in there, bought some rust converter, body filler, high build primer and acrylic lacquer to paint over it to make it nice and waterproof once we do the rust repair. From Bunnings, we picked up some cloths, wax and grease remover, a paint tin and a paintbrush to put the rust converter on with. Multi-pack sanding pad just for sanding back all the bog and the paint and all that. A couple more little sanding pads, tape obviously, and drop sheets to mask it all up with. So what we're going to do first, obviously now that we've cleaned back the rust, is to prep it with wax and grease remover, so it gives it a good clean surface to start the rust conversion. So here I am just giving the body a good clean up with wax and grease remover, removing any grease and contaminants from the surface of the paint. So next step from there is going to be applying the rust converter and sealer, so it's going to turn it from a rusty, crappy surface into a paintable surface. So I'm now applying the rust converter to the metal surface. So you don't want to paint this absolutely everywhere, just try and keep it on the metal surfaces. Try and focus on getting it in and around the curves and holes so that the chemical can penetrate and get into the cracks and crevices and do its job. So within about 5 minutes, this stuff's already starting to dry. It's getting in there and then converting the rust. You can see it's gone to like a black color rather than that orangey red. So yeah, it's doing the job. All right, so the filler we've got here from Repco is saying that it's a 50-to-1 ratio, so 50 parts of body filler to 1 part of the hardener. So yeah, we'll get that mixed up. I'm only doing a small first little coat on this one to get it started for the larger coat to apply to. So we're only going to mix a small batch of this stuff and give it a test run. Okay, so we've got our 50 parts filler to our 1 part of hardener. So yeah, obviously not an exact science. You know, if you need it to set faster, you add a little bit more hardener, or slower, a little bit less. So yeah, let's get into it. So once you've got the hardener squirted onto the filler, you want to mix it really, really well. So, you know, as far as I've seen on YouTube videos and everyone else's channels, just mix, 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 mix and mix. Fold it, roll it, squeeze it, smush it. Mix it very well together. So once you've done that, the hardener will start setting the filler and then it's good to go. Okay, so that's the first little layer of bog chucked on there. So a bit of a skim coat over there to fill in the holes. So we'll let that cure now, and then we'll go on to the second layer. This is a bit of a messy job, so yeah. Don't use Mum's Tupperware food containers to mix bog in. She won't be very happy, I can tell you that. So Dad decided to pop down to the shed to actually see what I'm doing. We got to talking about his project Ford that he's been building with the big block engine, and he decided to give it a start up and give us a listen to it. Lovely V8. So after talking a little bit of shop with Dad, all those good things like V8 engines and so on, the bog had cured. So here I am now just giving it a quick sand, getting it ready for the second coat. So yeah, it's not too hard to see where I get my love of cars from. I think it is something that, is in the blood. Both myself and my brother have gone on to do it as a bit of a hobby. And yeah, that's definitely where I get it from. So all I've done there is basically just give it a quick sand back and then apply a second layer of bog. So what I'm trying to do is basically just build the bog up so it fills over the existing body lines. Obviously the rust decays and deteriorates the metal, leaving crevices, cracks, holes, all that sort of stuff. So we're just filling all that in. So once this is all nicely sanded back, we're following the existing body lines of the car without any lumps or bumps. So that's what we're trying to aim for. I don't think it's going to be dead perfect, but good enough for a backyard hack like myself, I think. Alrighty, so the next layer of bog is on and it is fully hardened. So we're going to give this one a sand back now and try and start shaping it to the body. Alrighty, so this side is very close to being done. Just found a tiny little divot in the top, just over here. So I just put another layer of bog on there, sand it back, get that perfect. And then over on this side, this one's pretty much ready to go for paint. Okay, so it's starting to get really dusty now with all this sanding. So I've just chucked the mask on. Even outdoors, the wind's blowing the dust away pretty quickly, but it's getting quite heavy. So yeah, so it's starting to take shape now, following the body lines, looking a whole lot better than it was. So getting very close to our final product. It's now following the body lines perfectly and it is nice and smooth to the touch. So no high points, no low points, nice and smooth. Sanding, you want to do nice long strokes, especially when you're finishing it, just so there's no lumps and bumps, keeping it nice and smooth. So now we're all done sanding. Next task is to give it a good clean. So we've got this air blower here, we're just gonna blow all the dust with. We're going to give it a good clean up. As with everything painting, you want to make sure you have a nice clean surface. So we're going to hit it again with the wax and grease remover to get rid of any contaminants for the paint. So now that's all nice and clean with the wax and grease remover and the surface is contaminant free, we're going to start masking it up ready for paint with some 3M Scotch tape and plastic sheeting. Now that that's all masked up, onto the high build primer. Alrighty, so I've got it high fill primered and ready to go. So I stuffed up here and forgot the camera was on time lapse instead of video record. This is me just laying down the first coat of paint onto the van. So after letting the first coat dry, I then applied a second coat and she was good to go. Ripped off the plastic and tape and she turned out absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, cheers for watching another Drew Shed production, mate. On ya, don't forget to like and subscribe, you mad